Good Saturday morning, everyone. Taking a look here at your Saturday forecast, but also the latest on Ian. Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for all the comments here. We do have right now areas of cloud cover for the most part, but we will see some peaks of sunshine this afternoon. We're going to start with the latest on what's going on with Ian, and then we will progress forward to our local forecast. Anders, if you're back there and you can hear me, we are getting some questions about how many active power outages we still have across the area. If you wanted to check on that and let me know so I could give folks an update on that, that would be amazing. Good morning, everyone. Again, happy Saturday. It is the first day of October, and it's definitely going to be different than yesterday. Of course, we had the rain, the clouds, the wind, and of course, those cooler temperatures. Now, this morning, Ian starting to pull north out of our area. You can kind of see some of that remnant moisture here on satellite and radar, but we're going to continue to see Ian shift further north as we head throughout the day. Right now, the system is post-tropical, and we mentioned this yesterday, but post-tropical essentially means no tropical characteristics. If you're interested in kind of the more nuanced, more in-depth version, it is on the WCNC Charlotte website. But essentially, for tropical systems to be tropical, warm core low, they have to have a close center of circulation, winds up to about 35 miles an hour or higher, multiple little specific things, right? So when it loses some of those characteristics, it's no longer tropical, but it can still be strong. In fact, if you remember Superstorm Sandy back in 2012, when it made landfall in New Jersey, it actually was technically post-tropical, which is why it was previously being called Hurricane Sandy. And then, when it made landfall, they were calling it a superstorm. Essentially, it's just a different definition, but the winds, the rain, the impact is the same. So we saw, of course, that change at 5 p.m. yesterday. We still saw the same impacts. Rainfall totals between 2.5 inches to 3 inches at their peaks locally. Wind gusts peaked at 46 miles per hour in the Charlotte metro area. Now, the latest here on post-tropical storm Ian, this is an update as of 5 a.m. You can see the storm shifting north. It has weakened more, winds right now at 35 miles an hour, and they do expect essentially the system to drop even more by this afternoon and then be a remnant low. It will have dissipated at that point, but it is still expected to bring rain and wind toward the East Coast and the New England states as it lifts north. But it is heading out of our area. We have no more local impacts expected from Ian. In fact, it's actually going to eventually bring some drier air back into our forecast. So let's take a look at the wind, just because I know winds was a big power outage issue yesterday. We peaked at 46 miles per hour. Today, we're peaking close to 15. So it's breezy at times, but definitely not as high. But I think when you factor in the breeze, the cooler temps as highs for Charlotte FC, right? Only reaching the mid 60s, it's still going to be on the cooler side. And with the sunset right after 7 p.m., I do think any folks who plan to head out to the match should probably bring the jacket, right? It's still going to be cold out there. We will see some peaks of sunshine this afternoon, but how it's cloudy right now, I would expect more clouds and sunshine for most of the day. This morning, we saw a drizzle and a light rain. That has mostly fizzled out, but we will see a few showers possible by this afternoon. So, of course, Charlotte FC versus Philadelphia kicks off at 5:30 this evening. We also have Charlotte 49ers at home today. That's at 6 o'clock, so very shortly after the Charlotte FC match. You see the forecast. It is essentially the same thing. By 7:08 or so p.m., we are going to see those cooler temps arrive. The sun will go down, and we're going to drop really quickly to overnight lows in the 50s. So prepare for it to be cool, cloudy for most of the day, but the rain, abundant like yesterday, and the wind mostly out of here. Now, tomorrow morning, I actually expect us to be mostly clear to kick off the day, but we will see a few clouds wrap around Ian, bringing those back into our area. I'll show you that coming up here in Future Track. But tomorrow, same thing. I would expect partly to mostly cloudy skies. Sherry saying football weather. Honestly, Sherry, other than the rain, I cannot complain with these cooler temps as it was such a hot summer. Tomorrow, again, only seeing that 20% chance of rain. It is not widespread. If you're heading to the Panthers-Cardinals game, you are good to go. In fact, we really haven't been worried at all about lightning the past few days because of the fact that we knew it was going to be cooler and the clouds would prevent any kind of severe weather or any lightning from developing. Now, here's what happens futurecast-wise as we progress throughout the weekend. It's just an overview to show you kind of what happens. So this low, you see the big L there. Oh, I did that backwards. Sorry, folks. That, of course, is Ian. Right now, a post-tropical cyclone, eventually a remnant area of low pressure. Hey, Chloe. Have a great day. Have a great day. Chloe's heading out, guys. Hopefully you watched this morning. So futurecast, of course, you can see the low pressure system up toward Virginia by this later morning, early afternoon. What happens is as it starts to lift, you'll see some clearing down toward the Charlotte area, but eventually a few more clouds start to lift in as we hit the second half right of Saturday. So or Sunday that is. So here Sunday morning, you can see those little peaks, but see how a few more clouds roll in by the afternoon. We just have to expect those tomorrow, and then we are completely cloud free essentially by Monday afternoon. So better weather is on the way. As the low, what's left over of Ian, starts to pull away from us, we'll see drier air mixing in. I mentioned this a second ago, but we're also going to see cooler temperatures. So low temps, we've had a few 40s mixed in the past few weeks, but we have not had consistent 40s for multiple days. You can see on the 28th, we had 46. Most of those mornings were in the 50s. Tomorrow again in the 50s, Monday again in the 50s. But look at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and even beyond into the weekend. We have the dry air mixing in, high pressure builds back in too, a cool northwest wind. This is going to allow for the perfect setup of honestly prolonged periods of what I would call fall like weather, but not October like weather, probably closer to November like weather. These daytime highs will be pretty close to normal, especially by Thursday into the mid to upper 70s. But Thursday is the only day that we're actually near average. Every other afternoon is still cooler than that. 65 Monday, 69 Tuesday, and then low to mid 70s Wednesday, Friday. But it's the morning lows I think will be more noticeable. You guys, especially, right, with kids or, maybe were kids recently. I remember this even, and I'm surely not a kid recently. When you go to school and you need the heavy coat because it is cold and your hands are cold, you feel like you need mittens. Uh, because you think you're being that dramatic, right? It's cold. But then by the afternoon, it is so warm that you're kind of just like getting the layers off, the jackets, maybe even kids leaving them at home. I know Brad and I were just talking about that. He's like, I have to remind my kids to bring them home. I mean, I'm sure parents do feel that too. This is one of those weeks. You got to make sure your kids are bringing them home because they're going to need them every single morning. Our lows Tuesday, upper 40s, mid 40s Wednesday, Thursday, and again, upper 40s by Friday. So this will be a prolonged stretch of some of that cooler air in the morning, but then we will see abundant sunshine, dry air, and temperatures in the 70s this afternoon. So the upcoming week looks great. Before I leave you, I'm going to look at what Andrew sent me. Okay, so we have about 10,000 people still without power in Charlotte. 276,000 for North and South Carolina. My guess is most of those are probably near the coast. We have about 3,300 still in Concord, about 25 in Salisbury. And it looks like there is an update to these power outage maps over on our website, wcnc.com. It looks like we do have that link here. So I'll try to link it after the stream is over. So again, Ian pulling away from us. The remnant impacts here will be cloudy today still on the breezy side this morning, but that will subside. Still cool with highs only in the 60s, but our Dallas tower cam is starting to even see some sunshine at those highest elevations. So if we can break some of those low clouds, many of you will start to see some peaks of sunshine this afternoon. We did see about, again, 2.5 to 3 inches of rain at their peak, which ironically, and I mean this in a good way, 3 inches, anything above that is typically our threshold for the worry of flash flooding. So that was good news. We stayed just below that threshold. The winds definitely gusted to tropical storm force, which is why we still have so many power outages across the area, but you can trust the WCNC team will stay on it. We'll continue to bring you updates throughout the day. I'll leave you folks here with this. Stay warm if you're heading out and about. Maybe bring the poncho just in case if you don't want to get impacted during any of those games. But if you're planning on maybe opening the windows, watching some college football from the comfort of your home, it is going to be a great weekend to do so, as it will be definitely cooler than what we've seen the past few weeks. It has been a really tough week. I know for many of you watching, of course, some of the destruction from Hurricane Ian. Maybe you have friends and family down there. Many of you know that I moved to Charlotte from Southwest Florida. I worked at Wink TV for 3 years. It was the station that unfortunately was flooded. It's horrible to see the destruction. It's heartbreaking. Maybe take this weekend. I know I'm going to do this. Maybe try to see if there's something, maybe it's little, maybe it's not even monetary, that maybe something that we all can do for the folks there of Southwest Florida. So just keep them in your thoughts and prayers this morning. I'll leave you with that. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay happy, and stay healthy, everyone. Happy Saturday.